Emergency update. The alarm bells are ringing. I've seen all the warning signs. We got to talk about this. Okay, so I've been short on the past several weekly reports. Those shorts have panned out. We are below the targets right now, but I've closed my shorts. I've locked in most of the gains. We have an interest rate decision coming up. We've got to talk about this. It's a 100% probability, but I'm a little concerned about 100% probability, to be honest. The data is iffy, okay? But the market's throwing a fit saying that the Fed should have cut by now. So it's pricing in 100 points. So it's actually pricing in multiple cuts. It's saying 50 base point cut, and then multiple cuts preceding that. This is concerning. The market's worried about growth. We've actually seen the comments about a recession give greater volatility to the SPY index than we have anything about the interest rates, even when Waller made comments about front-running the interest rate decision and doing some cuts a little bit early. Market really didn't react to that much, okay? And the reaction we got sold off immediately. This is concerning, very concerning. Let's talk about the technicals, all right? Very important right now. All right, if we look at the monthly chart here, we're rolling over now on the monthly chart on SPY. We just got the trigger. We've already talked about in the past how we've already gotten that trigger on QQQ, right? Last time we got these triggers was in 2021. What preceded that? Huge meltdowns. Okay, same for SPY. Big meltdowns. I think that we're headed to some real bearish territory. Now remember, we got the first candle on SPY, and then it actually went up. So does this mean go mega short now? No. In fact, SPY hit new highs after it gave the monthly signal. Afterwards, then something happened. What's going to happen? The carry trade going to blow some people up? I don't know. But what I do know is I've closed most of my shorts for this moment. I'm still net short with smaller positions, and I still have some longer-term bull positions. But it's important to remember that the monthly chart, what we should also cover is the monthly chart. It's called the monthly chart because each of these candles is 1 month. Yeah? 1 month. You know, October, November, December. Okay? So it got short in November, then hit a new high in December, that hit another new high in January. Beginning of January it was up, and then it melted down substantially in the 2022. And then we got the massive sell-off. Keep that in mind, okay? Monthly chart, okay? So we could have a month of bullishness after September. We could also not. It could also just be a straight plunge. We've seen that too. You know, straight plunge right here. But what stands out to me is what's going on at a macro level. All the conversations we're hearing, the breadth of the selling. I mean, just look at the market today. If we look at the heat map, everything's selling. We had indications of a rotation from tech to value, because looking at some consumer staples that they were strong. And you know, even now, like McDonald's is still up, Deere is still up, Pepsi's holding up well. Yeah, the non-durables are still holding up well. We still see some green here. So there's a chance that this is still alive and that tech is just broadly selling off. And let's talk about tech for a moment. NVIDIA looks awful. It just broke the daily on the TTM. And okay, that was after this capitulation. I think NVIDIA is bound to break this wedge that we see, at which point it could go to 66. All right? The fibs for the bigger retracement say 52. I'm a buyer on NVIDIA at 66. I'm okay with 66. I like that price. All right, so, and I think NVIDIA will still have a gangster lead, but price is everything, right? And so I was pounding the table to sell NVIDIA at the highs, just nonstop. And it hasn't looked appealing for even a split second at any point since. But if it gets to 66, I'm going to be pounding the table as a buy. So there's just, I'm pointing this one out just as like this big selling that's coming will be buying opportunities. It's not game over forever, right? But I think Bitcoin, it's about to test this parabola. I think it breaks the parabola. Target 37,000. 40K, I'm a buyer. All right. Let's mark that on the chart. Mark it on the chart. So we've had some banger trades. You know, I even caught Tesla to the upside this morning, and then I panicked. I panicked out of that position. I bought them at, like, I would say like 3.4, 3.6, and sold it at 4.9. Decent win. But the shorts have really been the all-star. You know, I got burned out of oil because it's just getting swallowed by this bearish market. I still like oil. You know, I think all the bearish headlines are out there. Everything bearish about energy should be priced in now. And I've been very patient. Okay, I think this goes back in the 80s. But we're going to have to wait a little bit longer for the timing because the market is just being engulfed by this bearishness, and energy, which is already kind of beaten down, is also taking a beating. Just in general, if you just want to more broadly play the sector, remember BCOM is a thing. BCOM at 13 right now, hanging around the lows. I think BCOM's really interesting right here. So you want to try to play this with options or however you want to handle this. This now looks appealing to me. I'm looking for, you know, this to revisit the highs in the future. So, because I just think that everything that's bearish could possibly happen is priced into those. Commodities are pricing in recession. Markets now getting that reaction. I'm looking for them to lead the way back to the upside. I do want to point out that gold is still just incredibly sturdy, very frustratingly so. This one, I want this to be the first thing that I buy. It's still holding up on the weekly. However, never mind, still holding up on the monthly too. This thing is a monster. It's probably going to 300. I sold my leaves too early. I should probably buy them back now and just average in if it pulls back. So I probably will do that. I'll probably just capitulate and say, I just need the exposure. Because I think the monster, I think we're going to get another one of these soon. Another one of these. I don't think it's done. I think we've got another. What COVID did was transfer money from the government to the wealthy. And it widened the wealth distribution. All right, made that disparity that much larger, right? Because they gave all these stimulus checks to all these people, but all it did was go back to the rich, right? So really, it was just the government giving money to the rich, and then the government really didn't come up with a process to tax the rich, and at the same time printed a bunch of money. For gold to not be a good trade, all of that must be resolved in some way. Is there any political pushes to resolve those issues? Not at all. And in fact, what we're probably going to see is more money printing in the future. Because this rally right now probably won't sustain to 2025, and then it gets worse. And then gold's fundamentals get even better. I don't like gold, but gold probably has even better fundamentals than Bitcoin, just because that's what the boomers like. That's what they're piling into. That's what the central banks are buying, and even if they start buying Bitcoin, they're not going to give up gold. So I'm going to buy some gold. I'm also going to buy Bitcoin hand over fist when it gets to 40K because it's not dead, right? I like Bitcoin a longer time horizon, but I can't ignore gold right now. That's the way I see this at this moment, okay? So that's what I'm looking for. One more thing I almost forgot. I have sold most of my TLT today. I just have runners. And actually, this is starting to melt down. The market is pricing in 100 basis points. I'm thinking we get a scenario where we actually see a cut, and then inflation comes back, and then pauses from there. Could see the market crash, and then the Fed doesn't care about inflation, and they do more rate cuts, and TLT does good as a hedge against the market. Maybe. But I'm still seeing like all these 2022 signals. This does look pretty good on the monthly, actually. This is almost bullish on the monthly. So it could go higher still. So yeah, I still like taking down my allocation here, though, for TLT. And I like things like gold more. We'll see how it pans out. My convictions on TLT just aren't as high as they were. One of the traders in the Discord likes IWM. There is a weak, in my opinion, a very weak case that the cuts will cause the Russell to outperform the Qs and SPY. And that's for those of you less, you know, ingrained in markets and terminology, what that means is like lower value companies will outperform the larger companies and outperform technology on the idea that the companies who like need to borrow money are going to get some relief because it's going to be cheaper to borrow money because interest rates have come down, right? I think that's weak. There's only like 3 or 4 times that I'm really aware of where that has occurred, but it could happen. There is a stronger case that on a greater recovery after the damage is done, that IWM will outperform back to the upside along with growth. I could see that. For it to go against, it's basically like the generals retreat, but the army keeps advancing. I don't think there's a strong case for that right now. We have seen it in the past. I don't think we're in that scenario. I don't think we had that type of market environment. Although we do see that on a monthly chart that this is still looking decent. In fact, you could be forming a cup and handle right here. Maybe we'll see that. And this handle could come down further. So, okay. I might be able to see something like that that would still be the case if back to the upside it outperforms. We'll keep an eye out there. That's the emergency report. One of the things I'm still short on is Apple. Apple's going to be announcing the new phones in November. Apple almost sells on every single announcement. So there's your trade idea. I've got other trade ideas in the Discord. This week's been a baller week. We've made a killing. But I just need to put this out so that we're all on the same page, okay? So we can flush out those thoughts. A massive multi-month sell-off is likely ahead of us. We're getting the signals, but we can still see a big reversal. We can still see a squeeze before we go to those new lows, okay? This probably won't be a straight shot to these new lows, okay? So it'll probably be like an A, B, C. When's the B come? I'm not positive, but I'm going to keep cash right now. And then what I'm probably going to do is play short term for maybe 1 or 2 weeks until we get the interest rate decision, see how the market reacts, maybe into that decision, play something. You know what? You're going to have to join the Discord. We've been working on new things in the Discord, so I guess I'll use this as an opportunity to also get some updates. We set up a lot of different bots and automatic trackers in our AWS system, and then it crashed, and we're trying to figure out why. Today we figured out why. It's because we had a memory leak. Basically, the bot uploads too much data to the server, and it starts to slowly slow it down, and so it's kind of hard to catch right away, and then it eventually just bogged it down where it quit working. We now know what the issue is, so we can clean up that code, and then we can get that operational again. That should be the last step into working out all the bugs. So we've worked out all the bugs for like not appropriately registering my trades. And for those unaware of what the bot's supposed to do, it's tracking all my trades in real time so that it's even faster than me just like typing out the trade I take. It's instantaneous. I make a trade, boom, the trade's in the Discord. There's an alert that goes off of my trading view. As soon as the alert triggers in here, boom, it's in the Discord. Okay, it's in milliseconds. It's stupid fast, and we've got other ones such as you might be familiar with Unusual Whales, how they do algorithm for tracking insider trading. I built my own algorithm, except it's better. We're the upgrade because I'm not just a coder. I'm a market guy. I'm a full-time trader. I understand markets better than any coder. So I hired a coder to do the coding, and then I tell him how these things should be set up. We've also got an automated trading bot that'll be coming out, dark pool indicators, working on lots of things. It's very exciting, and I think you guys will love it. I think you'll absolutely love it. So that's what's going on. That's all I wanted to say. Stay cautious out there, guys. God bless.